to the live stream, everyone. How's it going? We've already got people coming in. Hey, Jidge. Stuart Holland. Who could that be? That's my dad. Hey, Dad. How's it going? Leon. How's it going? Jody. Jody. Hey. Nice one. And Peter. How's it going? And yes, my son, he didn't want a bedtime story. He wanted to continue building his Lego, which, you know, is fair enough. We all want to continue building our Lego at 9 o'clock in the evening, don't we? I'll just grab my guitar. I am still sort of working out settings and levels as we're going here. My trackpad ran out of battery, so I'm just stuck using the old school mouse, the classic. It doesn't fail me. Okay. Hope everyone's doing good. It's been a while. It has been a while since I've done a live stream. Let me know you can hear me first off, by the way. I might be just talking to myself and you can't hear me. I actually did that once, for anyone that doesn't know. So I've been doing live streams for a while. And, you know, it didn't always look this good or seem this professional, or I didn't always seem this relaxed. And this one time I had everything... I did live streams in a slightly different way. Sometimes I take a subject and then I just kind of talk about that subject. And it's a little bit like, I've experimented with different ways, but it's a little bit like a workshop, you know, or like a webinar, you know, that's what they call it, isn't it? A webinar or something like this. So I have like notes and stuff that I talk about a little bit like I would in a normal YouTube video, you know. This live stream is just going to be like, I'm going to play songs, I'm going to chat with everyone, you know, very chilled out. But maybe I'll go back to the old way as well, mix it a little bit, because it's nice to do something that is a bit more kind of structured, you know, and a bit more sort of planned. Anyway, I did the whole thing, and I didn't realize I didn't hit. It was all private. The video was private. I didn't hit public on the video, on the live stream. You can do that. And the whole live stream, I did it for like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something, just to myself, just talking to myself the whole time. And didn't realize until the end that I didn't press. I was thinking like, oh, there's not that many people this evening, you know, coming through, but just carried on. Sounds good. Great. You can hear me. But no, I did the whole live stream to myself. But that's an important lesson. You know, I won't do that again. I think we need to make these mistakes. This is what life's about. We need to make mistakes in order not to do that again. And I definitely won't do that again. You know, I've learned my mistake. Okay. But as I said, it's been a while. I might be a little rusty with my live streaming skills. I got my set list here, got some songs I want to play. Gonna try some different ones, maybe definitely some of my usual ones that I like to play. And you know, as always with all of these live streams, you know, ask away any questions that you have. There's no particular topic that we're talking about. It's just, you know, whatever questions you have. Because on my YouTube videos, it's really hard to actually answer all the questions on my YouTube videos. I try as much as possible, but I have to like set time schedule in my week to answer. That's when, that's block out time, basically. That's when I answer my YouTube video questions and comments and stuff, you know. I guess it's a good problem to have, you know. I'm not complaining, but so if I haven't replied to your question or comment, then please don't take it personally. It's just I have these set allocated times where I answer this, and I just can't get through everyone in one go. So I will eventually get to everyone, because if I just leave it to myself answering whenever, then then I would just constantly be on my phone or on my computer answering. It's just like it's all the time. So just to let you know that I'm a one-man band here. There's no I've got no assistant. Maybe I should get an assistant, but no. I like the fact that it's me answering the YouTube comments and questions, and not like a bots or anything like that. Oh, what am I doing? I'm like, the problem is another thing. So I'm really rambling now. I'm going to play a song in a second. I'm trying to do my mouse skills is not very good on my left hand, That's why I like the trackpad, because it's like it's a lot easier to do with the left hand. And now I'm like, and I'm messing things up with because I'm trying to do things with my left hand. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to check levels as we're going here, and just to make sure people say it's coming through okay, that it's not too loud, not too quiet. Okay, I'll just get straight into a song. Here we go. I'll just adjust the reverb a little bit on that. It's a little bit too long. I'm going to put a little bit of reverb on the microphone here. I got this clip microphone I'm using. A little bit of reverb on that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of reverb on my voice. You can already hear that's not on this microphone. It's actually just coming through on this microphone. Adjust that. I'll take that down. This is like a quick sound check a little bit. Oh, not too much. Okay, we'll try that. See how we get on. This is a song called Like Father, Like Son. Music starts, had too much to drink. One Christmas evening and the family's all here. From my seat, stand up to my feet. Attempt to move my legs and hips to the beat. Oh,
left arm goes right, legs go front to back and then side to side. Head goes up and then it goes down. I'm biting my bottom lip and making a frown. Oh, I guess it's true with what they say. We all turn into our parents one day. To my shock, as cool as I am, I'm dancing the same dance as my old man. Oh, like father, like son, my chances are none. Like a father, like son, oh, my time has come. Like father, like son, my chances are none. Like a father, like son, oh, my time has come. Family, a wife makes one happy guy. So me old man has more than what just meets the eye. And I'd be glad to have half what he has. And I'd be proud if I turn out just like my dad. Like father, like son, my chances are none. Like a father, like son, oh, my time has come.
That was like father, like son. I just realized my chair did a little creak there. Sounded a bit like a fart, but it wasn't a fart. It was my chair. Kind of ruined the mood a little bit, but yeah, that was I wrote that years ago. That's about me not wanting to turn into my dad, and it's funny because my dad is here on the live stream. Hey, Dad. He's heard it a million times. But at the end of the song, I realized that actually, you know, it won't be all that bad if I do turn out like my dad. It's funny, I was practicing just practicing my songs in the kitchen today while my son was playing Lego. And I played that song, and he always gets really emotional when he hears my music, hears my songs, especially that one for some reason. And he just started crying, and I thought, oh, that's so sad. He just gets so overwhelmed with emotion when he hears my music, which is, I guess, it's a bit of a compliment, you know. But it's really sad for me to see, like, you know, he's crying. It's like, it's really sad, Dad. It's like, okay, I'll stop playing. So, but yeah, all right. I'm just checking levels here. Let me know if there's any sort of peaking coming through, any distortion or anything like that. I'm sort of adjusting levels as I'm going. If you just joined the live stream, welcome. I haven't done one in a little while. Any questions is welcome here. There's no such thing as stupid questions. So, you know, ask away. This is what it's all about. I'm just answering questions, and I'm playing songs. That's the whole point of the live stream. I'm just gonna have a little bit of my cocoa, and then I'll have a look at if there's any comments or anything. All right, let's have a look. All right, welcome. Many Vibes is here. And, loads of people coming through. Okay, we've got Timothy, welcome. How's it going? Jidge, of course, I said that earlier. Maggie, how's it going? Good to have you at the live stream. Nice. Who we got? Jody, yeah, we said that. All right, I'll start going through if there's any questions or anything like that. Make sure you leave a question mark if it's a question for me, just so I can kind of see. Oh, thank you very much, PPK. I'm going to pronounce your name really badly. Sunan? Is that? Yeah, it's probably really badly. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Glad you like the song. Nice. Do I post my music on... Oh, no, that was a question for Jidge. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I was wondering if Jidge, you post music on YouTube. Yeah, mainly in the Song Club. So if there's anyone here that's not part of the Song Club, then I encourage you to join. But I think probably everyone is already in the Song Club. And that's just a place that we can sort of share music with each other that's, you know, not on the internet and stuff. And well, it is on the internet, but it's, you know, it's a private group, so you have to join, and it's all lovely people. Link is always in the description down below, and it's completely free to join. All right. Medivive says, I bet Dad is proud. Yeah, absolutely. One day my son might sing it. Yeah, it's, you know, I think like the older I get, the more I'm the more I'm happy to put stuff out into the world, you know, because I realize that, okay, one day I'm not going to be here. And it's just nice that, especially with my son, and maybe he has kids, that they can kind of look at my music, listen to my music, not only listen to my music, but also watch all my YouTube videos, you know. I got like over 200 videos that they can kind of watch and go through. I mean, not much of it is very personal or anything like this, but, you know, it might be quite interesting for them to watch all these videos. Of you know, of his dad or granddad, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, my son is actually, he really enjoys singing, but he's not so keen to play guitar. I mean, maybe he'll pick it up later, but I think it's been around him for so long, since he was a baby, you know. I mean, music is part of his life, but it's not necessarily part of his passion, part of his particular interest. I think that's okay. I don't feel like I want him to. I don't want to push him and pressurize him, to learn the guitar or any instrument necessarily. It's nice that he really enjoys to sing, and he's really great. He's really good singer, So it's great that he enjoys that, and maybe he feels like, oh, that's Dad's thing. I want to discover my own thing, which is completely fine. Yeah. Jody says, wish my little one gave a crap when I played. She gets jealous of the guitar and makes me hang it back up. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but then how old is she? Is she, I think she's a bit smaller, huh? Maybe she'll get into it, because, my son's 8 now. So he's a proper, little boy. And I think he understands it more. He doesn't get too jealous of it. He plays with his Lego and listens to my guitar playing. I think as long as it's not such a sad song, he quite likes energetic and like, happy music, which I think most kids do enjoy that. I think he just gets too overwhelmed or emotionally overwhelmed when it's something quite, moving, which most of my music is, to be honest. Yeah. Leon says string choice. I've always just gone with D'Addario EJ17 Phosphor Bronze. They are medium gauge strings. I just really like them. They sound, when they're new, these are actually new strings, because yesterday was actually World String Change Day. I don't know if you knew that. I think that was actually set up by D'Addario, just to promote changing your strings. But it's a whole thing. I made a little video on my Instagram account. If you don't worry if you're not on Instagram, but yeah. So it's they're D'Addario Phosphor Bronze. But I've just been playing the same strings for so long, and I think I say this every time we talk about strings. Is like I haven't really explored many strings since I basically just made the decision of, okay, I'm going to stick with these strings because they sound really nice. They're like, as soon as they're as soon as they're new, they are quite bright, probably because of the phosphor bronze. They're fairly bright, so I like to kind of play them in for a few days before, if I'm going to record with them or anything like that. So I play them in a couple of days, and then they kind of mellow down a little bit. So then they're a lot nicer. But yeah, so it's D'Addario Phosphor Bronze. Anybody else have any other strings that they use that they always go for? Yeah, I'm keen to actually try Loudon, because this is a Loudon guitar. Loudon make guitar strings as well, and particularly ones set up for DADGAD. So they're kind of slightly different gauges to counter for the different tunings. So I'll be quite interested to try them at some point, I think. And Many Vibes says, is your music copyrighted, Fabian? Can links to your songs be shared without a copyright violation? They are copyrighted. I think like it just happens automatically with the DSP. So when you release something through a distributor, digital distributor, they set up like copyright sort of stuff automatically. So I think so I think like what's funny is I actually get a copyright strike whenever I play my music. Which is just so messed up. That's like it's just an automatic thing that happens, on YouTube. Is like this, most of these live streams, I I can't monetize. I mean, I don't monetize them anyway because I just like there's not much point. And it's yeah. So I get a copyright strike on my own songs. It's just an automatic thing, and it's, to be honest, it's not worth the hassle to go through the whole process of telling them, oh, this is actually my song. You know, this sort of appealing and stuff is a long process. It's just no point. I just like, and a copyright strike is like, it's not like getting, it's not like a harsh sort of thing on YouTube. You know, I have it on most of my live streams, and I have like loads of live streams, you know. So it's not like I'm gonna get my channel banned or anything like that, you know. I think if you do like there's another word, they have like their violation, their policy or whatever. If you get that I think if you have 3 of those strikes, they're more serious stuff. Then you can get your channel taken down. But copyright, you know, it's just to be honest, like I've done covers as well, and I think I got copyright strikes for them. Most of the time, you'll find that people are actually quite happy that you're covering their songs, you know, because it's more exposure to them. And in very rare cases would they actually ask you to take down the video, you know, because they're automatically receiving money, you know. So I do actually receive money from royalties for me playing my songs on YouTube, which is just it's a really complicated way of me getting those royalties, you know. And so I don't know. So it doesn't really matter in the end. So I think so. Yeah. So most people would actually are quite happy for there to be lots of covers of their songs out there because they get the royalties, and also they get the royalties through the royalty, you know, avenue, and also they get to monetize that video, you know, so they get all the monetization money income, you know, the tiny amount that it is, especially on my videos. But you know, on bigger videos, obviously it makes it worthwhile, and potentially any video can you know get lots of views, so that could be potential money to them, to the artist. So I don't know if I answered your question or I just went on a tangent there. I hope that makes sense. Let's have a look. Hold on. I think I missed a few. Yeah, so if you want to share my songs, then you can, I think. Go ahead, but I think it's fine, you know. Even if it depends on what you mean by sharing it. Like you can share a YouTube video just any way, you know, and it's fine. But if you want to make a video with my music in it, then you will get a copyright strike. But then that's all that will happen, you know. That's fine by me. Maggie says, I'm also curious about if you copyright your music. I'm starting to play live and have started to think I should officially pay the bucks to copyright my songs. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like most songs that I copyright are I've recorded, you know. So I don't know how you would copyright a song before you've recorded it, you know. Maggie, I think have you officially released anything, or is it or all of your songs just on YouTube? I can't remember if you've shared any like official kind of Spotify releases or anything like that. Because if it's through a DSP, like sharing on Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that, then that would automatically mean it's copyrighted, you know, through that way. And these DSPs are like digital. I don't know if it's DSPs. I can't remember now. Digital distribution, you know, song distribution companies. There's so many out there, and they're pretty cheap, you know, to do. So I'm not sure any other way you could do it. There probably are. I just haven't bothered looking at it, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, I think as long as I mean, it's almost proof, isn't it? By um, uploading a video, because it tells you the date that you uploaded that. So that there is proof that you've copyrighted it. It's your song. I don't know. Back in the day, before all this, I had to. What did I do? I think I made a recording, like a tape recording of my music, and then I posted it to myself. I think that was my copyright, because that was proof that, and then left it unopened, the folder. Let me know if you've ever done that. Back in the day, that I had a 4-track Tascam 4-track Porter Studio, and I mailed the tape to myself. Yeah, that was a way of doing it. But I guess now you can just record it and just release it on the DSP. And you could probably do that, I don't know. And then if you don't want to actually release it, you just put it up on the DSP. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's ways. as well. You could do it. Probably other people here know a bit better than me. Jody says, does anyone else find it hard to write happy songs? Everything I try, I try with a happy one, I either turns out sad or hate it. I don't even really like the major scale, to be honest. That's funny. I like the major scale. It's even though a lot of my songs are in minor, to be honest. I was thinking, like, that song I just wrote was actually in a major key, so you can actually make a song that's in a major key, that sounds kind of sad, Try, because I'm in DADGAD here and I've got the capo way high up, but try in standard tuning. I really like just the G chord and the G major scale, and just that positioning, the way your hand is. I really like that. So try that out, like going from G and then kind of going down with the bass. So G, F sharp, and then like go into like an E minor or an A minor or something like that, That can be really nice, you can come up with some nice stuff there, for sure. I think there's definitely a few Kelly Joe Phelps songs in major keys that are really sad, and really emotional, but they're in a major key. I think he has a song that's actually in G fingering. I think he has the capo up a few steps. G fingering, and it's like, I think it's called Tommy, if I remember correctly. It's a beautiful song. Check it out, Tommy, by Kelly Joe Phelps. Yeah, and it's beautiful. So that can maybe give you some inspiration there, Jody, for a major key, a major song in a major key that's sad. All right, I'm gonna do another song because I fancy it. I don't want to spend the whole time talking, because that's what usually happens. It's lovely that you're all here and that you're all asking the questions, which is great. But then I spend the whole live stream just answering questions. And I want to play a few songs for you. All right, hold on. All right. This is called John the Revelator, and this is like an old gospel song, and I first heard this song from Sunhouse, and yeah, it just kind of blew me away. So this is my version of it.
Tell me who's that right, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that right, John the Revelator. Who's that right, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. Who's that writer, John the Revelator? Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. God walked out of the cool of the day, called Adam by his name. He refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. Christ had 12 apostles, 3 he led astray. He said, watch them with 1 hour, till I go yawn and pray. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. God walked out of the cool of the day, called Adam by his name. Yet he refused to answer, 'cause he was naked and ashamed. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Tell me who's that writer, John the Revelator. Who's that writer, John the Revelator. Wrote the book of the seven seas.
So that version, I usually play that song on banjo. Actually, that version I actually just came up with today. So it's very new and rough and raw, but it's a very simple song, you know. And I already kind of knew the lyrics, so with things like this, is like transferring it onto a different instrument. It's usually quite easy and simple, you know. But it's still like it's the first time that I've actually performed it like this version, and it's always a little, you know, takes a little while to get into the groove of a song, I find. But I really like that song. If you haven't heard the Sunhouse version of this song, then you should really check it out. It's really nice. And there's been lots of other covers of this song. If you just search in John the Revelator, you'll find loads of different versions. Loads of musicians, great musicians, have done lots of covers of this song. Okay, I am gonna have a look and see if there is any more questions. If you just joined the live stream, then welcome. I'm Fabian Holland. I'm a guitarist, singer, and songwriter, and we talk. That's what we talk about on this channel: acoustic guitars, songwriting, anything related to the acoustic guitar, fingerstyle guitar, anything like this. Let me have a look. All right. So, looking for questions. Many Vibes says, very important question. If you can't monetize the live stream, do you have a tip jar? I do, actually. So I think you can actually, if you wanted to give a little tip, now that you mention it, no, it's only if you want to. You can, on the chat box, there's like, there's a little dollar sign, little thing with a dollar. And then you can sort of, that's basically a tip jar. It's called a super chat. So you can sort of leave a comment, and then, you know, you can send me a few dollars or something like this, you know, if you feel you want to. It's just by the chat box there. So that's kind of like my tip jar, I guess. But you know, it's more about hanging out with you guys and stuff. It's all fun. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So we should all learn your songs. Yeah, exactly. Maybe that was for someone else, but yeah, absolutely. Peter says, I was curious as to how you make a living from music, Fabian. From what I read, it sounds like touring is the only way to make money. But I remember you saying you weren't playing live. Yeah, it's so I was playing live a lot more than I am now. I'm still playing, still doing the odd show and stuff. But yeah, not really to the extent. And it is true. It's like, especially, I guess it depends on which type of music, but I feel the most kind of types of music, the only way to really make any kind of living is to perform live, is to basically tour around. And especially, I think, with something like, you know, blues, folk music, and especially if you're like one person, it's a lot easier to make a living. You know, if you had a band and if you were playing maybe other types of music, then it would be potentially a lot harder. You know, with my sort of music, I appeal to a huge amount of people, but a lot of the touring that I've done is to kind of older people. How do I put that nicely? Is like, I mean, from my age upwards, basically. You know, there's not many young people in my gigs, in my shows. Unfortunately, there are, you know, and it's mainly the young people that are there are like the guitar nerds, you know, and they're asking me lots of questions after the shows. But yeah, so it's like I play in a lot of, or I used to play in a lot of like art centers and, you know, cultural sort of places. So I go to like a lot of towns or even villages that have just one place to go to see live music, you know. And it's a lot of people that don't really go out that much. So it was always pretty booked out, you know, even though no one had heard of me. They're just like, oh, it's this English guy singing like folk songs and blues songs and stuff, you know, let's go and see him. You know, and I'd bring CDs and they would sell lots of I would sell CDs to them. You know, I haven't done that in a while, so I don't know if people would still buy CDs, but I think they would. I think they would. So, and that can really help, you know. Sometimes I can make just as much as I'm getting paid for the gig in CD sales, you know. So that's nice. And so you can, yeah, but it's you need to be touring a lot, you know. You look at a lot of other musicians that are really making most of their money through gigs. They're touring all the time, you know, and it's exhausting. It's like it is, and it's hard. It's really tough touring all the time. It's long tours. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's so much fun, but it's tough, especially if you're doing it on your own. You know, you're traveling around, and it's just the same. It is hard, exhausting, and it's hard being away from your family, you know. But now I do a lot of teaching. So I've been teaching for a while. I do some private stuff. I do some some stuff in schools. But lately I've been doing a lot of like online one-on-one sort of tutor kind of mentorship stuff, which is really nice. And I also I do video actually. It started from just making YouTube videos, but I do some videos for companies, and they pay me for that. So it's like not really stuff that I post on my YouTube channel, but it's more like I would make a video for like Neumann, for example, and they would post that on either their website or their Instagram for something like this, you know. And I get to use a lot of their really cool gear, you know. And they would pay me for that. So it's really cool that I've managed to sort of develop this skill, like creating videos and making money through that, you know, that's really cool, and that's something that I'm sort of exploring and stuff. So, you know, you got to be like a lot of musicians. You got to be a bit of a chameleon and kind of make money wherever you can. I also do like music classes for toddlers as well. You know, all kinds of things. All kinds of things. I am. What else am I doing? I am. I create music that goes on like a. That goes on. I've forgotten the word for it now, but it goes on like a library, like library music. That's it. I also create library music. So it's have a publishing deal with Warner Chappell, and I basically just kind of create ambient instrumental stuff, and then I send that to them, and then that goes on their library, and then if someone takes that and uses that on like a game or something, or a film or something, you know, then I would get some royalties that way. Yeah, so I'm constantly expanding because touring is not really something I can make money with anymore. So I'm got my fingers in all the pies, so to speak. I hope that answers your question. But yeah. Many Vibes says there are indie music shows that showcase new music, but they can't do it if sharing it will block the entire stream. Okay. I gotta read that again. There are Indie music shows that showcase new music, but they can't do it if sharing it will block the entire stream. So is it like a stream like this, like a live stream? Yeah, okay, I understand now. Sorry, it's my dyslexia. I have to like read. I have to read something like a few times for it to actually sink in. Yeah, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah, so if I was to, I don't know if it would block. I don't know if it would block my stream if I was to do like a cover or play a song that belonged to someone else. Um, my experience, I've just experienced like that would just, I wouldn't be able to monetize it, which I don't do anyway. So, yeah. So I'm not sure. Maybe there's different ways that counts. I'm not sure. But that's interesting to know. Maggie says all of my songs are just on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe you need to do research on that, but I wonder if that is enough just to put your stuff on YouTube, because that is kind of evidence that it's you and it shows when you've uploaded it. It's that, I don't know. maybe that won't hold up in a court of law. I don't know. It's maybe worth doing research on that. D Forbes says, I've done the whole mail it to myself thing. Yeah, but that was like 20 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. It was a thing back in the day. Yeah. Jody says, in Ireland, copyright is automatic and assumed as soon as it's recorded, or if there's a dated proof like a written copy on your computer. Yeah. So I think that would work as well. Like if you put something on your computer, even there's a date on it, right? So it shows that's kind of proof that that you wrote it. It exists at that point in time, right? But I think the YouTube video would be sufficient as well. Many Vibes says, I disagree that majors are happy and minors are sad. To me, it's all colours. Yeah, it's one way to look at it, isn't it? For sure. It's I think you can have sad songs in major key. You can have happy songs that are in a minor key. It's all just the way you approach it, isn't it? But I do like minor keys though. I do like songs in a minor key. Something about it. It reminds me actually this musician, Chili Gonzalez. Has anybody heard of Chili Gonzalez? He's a piano player and he's a really cool musician. And he does this thing of like he changes a melody that's in a major key and he just turns it into a minor key. So he just turns the notes that are turns the notes and just basically converts it, so it plays it slightly different, so it works in a minor key basically. And it's really interesting hearing that, because he does a lot of these like songs, classic songs that we know, and then he just completely flips it into a minor key, and it sounds really cool. Just made me think of that. Breakdancer Kiyoshi. Sorry, I pronounced your name badly. Sorry. Says, do you listen to Nolan Taylor? No, I haven't heard of Nolan Taylor. Can you play Nolan Taylor Wicked? I think you would love the song a lot. It's amazing. I think you could do that song so well. I won't play it, but I will have a listen to it after the live stream. I think I will get like copyright things if I play someone else's music, like we were talking about. I mean, it doesn't really matter because I'm not monetizing it here, but it's a little tricky for me to actually play music because I can't hear anything that goes on my computer. It's a bit, I haven't set it up for that, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's I will definitely have a listen to it though after. Nolan Taylor. I'm going to actually make a little note of that. So I remember I've got a little notes thing that I've got open. So thanks for the suggestion, Taylor. I'll check it out. I always like to listen to new music. And where, by the way, just out of interest, where does everyone listen to music? Because, or where do you discover new music? Because I actually get really overwhelmed by Spotify. I can't really do Spotify. It's too much for me. It's too overwhelming. It's almost too much music. I go crazy on it, you know. And I actually just, so I try to kind of look out for songs that are suggested on like forums or other musicians on social media that are like recommending other musicians, you know, or who they've listened to and stuff like that. But also the radio. I listen to anybody else listen to the radio. I listen to the radio every day, and I discover music through the radio a lot. I try to look for like interesting radio stations, and then if I hear anything I like, I just like make a note of it. Anyone else? Be interested to hear how people discover music, because it's almost overwhelming these days because there's just so much out there, and there's so many different ways of discovering it. Jody says, I'm just the messenger, but definitely gravitates to minor. I would say rather than it being sad, it just feels deeper and more intense. Yeah. Adam says F chord sucks. That's funny. It does. It does, Adam. It does. Thumb over the top is a good one. Yeah. The old sort of this one here. I mean, you know, if you're, I'm in Dadgad here, so it's not going to work. But I can just do like the thing. If you're strumming, it sucks because you have to basically do bar chords, or it's really hard to not. But if you're picking, then it's actually a lot easier because you can kind of just pick out the notes, you know. And actually with an F chord you can, you know, you just need F, A and C. So a lot of the time if I'm just picking the chord, which you might not be, you might be strumming, but you know, you can just look out for those notes F, A and C and then just pick them, you know, even like this F, A and C, you know, in standard tuning. But I'm not in standard tuning here, but you know what I mean. So it would be like this. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Hold on. C, there would be C there. Like that. I was thinking I was in tuning, standard tuning there. So that would be it. But in standard tuning it would look like this. F, A and C. But you know, there are techniques to get used to, but yeah, the F chord does suck. It does. It's hard. Okay, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do another song. And here we go. I'm going to do one of my own now. Oh, I'm on the wrong capo. Hold on. 5th fret capo. These are new strings, so always takes a little while for them to sort of settle into the tuning. All right, this is it's a song called Memories. And I'll just explain it really quickly. If you haven't heard it, I've played it a few times, but I'm really fascinated by the way our senses pick up memories, you know, like the way something smells, especially smell, but it's the way something touches, it's the way something feels. It can sort of bring back these memories that we have, you know. And I have this vivid memory of when I went to the coast, the seaside, the beach as a kid. Because in the UK, it's really easy to get. I grew up in the southeast of England, and almost every weekend, you know, we drove as a family to the beach because it's really easy to get to the coast. And I just have these memories, you know, of these beaches. In the UK, you get these beaches where when the tide goes out, you can just walk for miles. You know, there's just like, it goes really, really far out, and it's just like sand as far as you can see. You know, so the actual water goes really far. And I just remember I have these memories as a kid of just like running, you know, and just loving it so much. But you've actually got to be really careful of these, because the tide can come in really quickly, and it can actually come around you and you not notice it, you know. So you're like, it kind of goes around and behind you if you're not careful, and then like it kind of closes in. So, you know, there's been a few accidents of people like getting into trouble because they got too far out in the coast. And anyway, this song is not about that, but it's just about memories, and just having these memories of these vivid moments of like of smell, and of like the way something feels and stuff like that. So, memories.
We were young, we used to head down to the southern coast. What I enjoyed the most was the sun and the lovely sea. Fresh sea air, it smelled the best when the tide was out. We used to run and shout, release the bird in me. The memory of that feeling was so free. Sand in between my toes, water comes up to my nose, the water comes up to my knees. It's these moments and memories. Sunday morn, me dad said, everyone in the car, we don't have to drive too far. I roll my window down, radio on and blasting, cruising steadily. Who can see the sea as is the first to own the sound, and I'm the first to say what I have found. Sand in between my toes, sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments and memories. Sand in between my toes, sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments and memories. Moments and memories. Moments and memories. That was Memories. So I kind of talked a lot about recently about mistakes, and I actually have a YouTube video coming out talking about how I think you should leave in your mistakes, and it's it's funny because I make mistakes all the time, and in that song, in every song that I've performed now, I've made mistakes. But I think, and I was trying to think about this recently, and I think someone I can't remember who it was now commented on one of my emails that I sent out about mistakes, that you should leave in your mistakes. But I think it's about what type of mistake, because I think you have mistakes where you just completely mess up and it ruins your flow, you know, and you feel like you have to stop, you can't do anything else. Of course you can continue, but it really just kind of messes up your flow and the way you're going. The way I think about it is like, if you were walking or maybe even jogging,
and if and you tripped up, you know, but you're still able to sort of keep jogging, keep going. It's these little mistakes that don't block your flow, you know. And I think it depends. It depends on person to person, you know. I think the longer you've been playing, the longer you've been doing this, the more experience you have. You just have more experience in not letting these little mistakes mess you up and ruin your flow, you know. So I find it quite easy to get into the flow in a song. And if I play a wrong note, which I do a lot, you know, almost every song I've played, I've played a wrong note. I don't let it mess up my flow, mess up my concentration, you know. So that's I think the difference. And I think, like, if I was to make a really big mistake and just completely messed up, of course I would keep going, you know. I think I would still finish the song. I don't think I would ever just stop in the middle of a song and go, oops, sorry, let me start that one again. Or just end it and just be like, oh no. I think I would still be able to continue and finish a song, but I think that's the difference, you know. So I'm excited for this video to come out because it's based on an email that I sent out recently, that I got lots of feedback on. So I thought that was quite interesting. Like, I think a lot of people think about this, you know, think about mistakes and how, especially performing in front of people, can be really nerve-wracking, you know. And we don't play our best in front of people, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get and the more relaxed you get, you know. But no one plays their best than if they're playing alone at home, you know. So anyway, I thought I'd just kind of mention that because I'm making loads of mistakes. Oh, here we go. All right, let's have a look at the comments. Here we go. Let's see if there's any questions. Jody says, hold on. Have we got any ones? Any other ones? Any other ones? Oh no. Sorry if I missed your question here. Jody says, any advice on distributors? I'm getting ready to release and I'm kind of overwhelmed with the different distributors and what each one offers. DistroKid seems to be the popular one. Yeah, I was looking at this recently, actually. And that's really exciting, by the way, Jody, that you're about to release. I can't wait to hear it. I'm signed up with some random German one that I'm not very happy with. So I'm going to leave them. I decided a while back, like I wasn't going to release much. So I would go with one of these ones that just released, you pay per release, because I thought I wasn't really going to be releasing that much. But now I actually would like to release more because I would like to release a lot of these songs that I've played in my YouTube videos and stuff like this. So I actually have a lot of songs that I want to release. And if I did it with the one that I already have, then I would pay per release, you know, and that can quickly add up. So I was looking around and I was looking at DistroKid, but I actually went for a different one called Lander, Landr, I think. Lander. I think that's what they're called. And they're fairly new, but they've got quite a big kind of following, and they've had a lot of really good reviews. And I just kind of like how they do things. And you basically pay, it's pretty cheap as well, like what they offer. you pay like a monthly thing, and then you can release as many songs as you want. And that's the kind of the way that I want to go, I think, because I've got a lot of songs that I want to release. And yeah, so I'd recommend then Lander. I haven't actually released anything through them yet, but I'm signed up with them. I've paid, so I'm paying the monthly thing or the yearly thing, however you want to do it. It's not much. It's not much at all. But then you can have different things. So like, if you want to, like, if you have your own record label, then you pay a little more, I think. And then there's various different things that they have. Lander Studio, so they actually have like a proper studio, like a web-based studio where you can master the music. So this is sort of I haven't really looked at this, but apparently it like masters your music, or you can do it yourself. But they also have like this AI thing that can master it in a way that is like ideal for streaming or something like this, to make sure that it's, you know, at the right dB for all the streaming platforms and stuff like that. It's not going to be at an odd dB or anything like that compared to other music or something like this. Anyway, I would still recommend that you master it yourself, obviously, but they have this sort of thing that you can put it through. I've never tried it, but apparently this had some good reviews. So anyway, that's I've heard a lot of good things about DistroKid as well, but I've also heard things with DistroKid that there's a lot of add-ons, there's a lot of extras that you have to pay for, you know, whereas Lander, they include a lot more, I've heard, with the monthly or yearly thing that you pay, you know. So yeah, there's my advice for that one. But yeah, I'd be interested to know how that goes. Yeah, Many Vibes says yeah, DistroKid is popular. Most of the indie artists I'm familiar with use DistroKid. There's a lot of people on DistroKid, yeah, and that was one I was originally looking at. But then I saw Lander, and I was pretty impressed, you know, with their look, with their style. I think it's a company from the UK originally. Yeah. And Many Vibes says, and sell on Bandcamp. Yeah, I've actually looked at Bandcamp as well, and that can be really good, of like just selling directly on Bandcamp. And people sell CDs on Bandcamp as well. I'd actually like to set that up through my website, though, you know, rather than through Bandcamp. I'd quite like to just be able to sell. I used to have that, but I'm on a new website now, and I need to make it available that you can actually buy my CD or download my music directly on my website. I think it's something that probably a lot of people are not keen on doing, because probably not many people are actually downloading music these days or buying CDs, but I still enjoy a download, you know, especially if it comes with like some extra stuff, photos and lyrics and, you know, things like this. I miss this. I mean, a CD or a vinyl is ideal. That's really nice to have that. But you know, I'd take a download over a stream any day for sure. What does everyone else feel about that? Are we still doing downloads? You know, if for example, here's an example. My next album, whenever I write, record, and release that, if I was to just make it available as a download, would that be something people would be interested in, or are people just like, nah, I'd just stream it? Yeah, I'd be interested to see what people say. I don't know. Maybe it's a hassle now for people to have a download on their phone, because it takes up storage. Obviously, you know. I don't know. It's a tiny amount of storage. It's not really that much. Thanks so much, many Vibes. Glad you like the song. Hold on, let me see if any questions. Hey, how's it going, lady? What does it say there? I'm dyslexic, so I really struggle to pronounce people's names or what they've written. Campion, is that right? Lady Campion. So they stick to that particular tuning for everything. Oh, you're talking about tunings. Yeah. Yeah, I'm using DADGAD, DADGAD. Yes. But I play in standard tuning as well. On a few songs. And I use open tunings, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm looking for questions. Here we go. This is the easiest. This is Many Vibes says, what is the easiest open tuning to learn, Fabian? Thank you. The easiest. Well, I don't know if there's the easiest open tuning, but if you were just starting out with open tunings, then I'd probably start with like drop D or something like this, where you literally take the low E string and you tune it down one step to D, and that's you can start there. So that's probably what I would recommend that you go with, and then you can sort of change various strings depending on, and then from there, I don't know, you could kind of explore, make your way down to DADGAD gradually, something like this. But yeah, so I'd recommend start with drop D. It's always fun. Lady Campion says, I was looking at Lander, but for different reasons. Supposedly that's how you can collaborate with people in real time. Oh yeah, I think there's that maybe as part of their studio. It's like they have this studio of like Lander Studio, where I think you can collaborate with people and write a song in real time, sort of thing. I like I said, I haven't explored it or anything like that, but I've heard good things about it. Timothy, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Very nice of you. Yeah, appreciate it, my friend. That's going towards the release. Sean says, are you a fan of Michael Hedges? Absolutely, I'm a fan of Michael Hedges. I love Michael Hedges. I prefer something to be downloadable. Nice. Good to know. Still buying CDs. Oh yeah, Jidge. Nice. I would like to buy CDs. And I do buy CDs whenever the moment the not so often moment these days I get to see live musicians, I try and buy their CDs because it's nice just to have something like that. That's why it's always good just to have some CDs if possible, and I sometimes wonder where it's heading, where is this going. And I wonder if CDs are still going to be available, but it's going to be more of like, people are going to kind of make them themselves almost. I remember back in the day, people used to do that to save money. They used to just like hand make their CDs every CD. And obviously, if you're creating like 800, you can't make every one, but if you have like 20 of them, then you can make them yourself, and they become really special then, Imagine like not a handmade CD, but like the sleeve notes and everything like that, but you can burn a CD, or something like this. I don't know. It might be, maybe that won't happen, but they'll become more and more special, maybe, in a way. I mean, vinyl is kind of like that, isn't it? You know, they're getting more expensive and becoming a lot more special. Jody says, I'm getting more into downloads for sure. Definitely would buy a download. It's nice to give direct to the artist. Spotify is handy, but it makes me feel dirty. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jody. I know what you mean. It's I'm going more often. How do I say this? I'm less excited about Spotify more and more these days. I don't know why. I'm just also using it, you know. It is handy. I would actually sometimes rather go on YouTube, which sounds crazy to listen to a song, than Spotify. But no, ideally, I still have downloads, and I still enjoy downloads and CDs and vinyl, obviously. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, drop D would definitely make sense. Yeah. Oh, Nick Drake is. I love Nick Drake. It's so good. Hey, Peter, how's it going? Nice. Okay, I think we're caught up. So I'm going to play another song. Keep the questions and comments coming. Okay. I've got a delay pedal down here. Should I turn it on? See what happens. I always struggle with delay. I think my problem is I feel because my songs are just timing wise are all over the place. But I quite like that. I quite like being able to slow down and really, you know, and use that to my advantage in terms of dynamics and everything. And I feel like if I have this delay, for example, I feel like I'm locked in time wise to this, you know? Which is the vibe. That's the whole point, you know. You know, but I want to. If I was to slow down, it might sound weird. What I might do is kind of not have so many repeats. So maybe I'll slow down the repeats, and maybe I'll turn it down a little bit as well. It's a little too fast as well. I'll slow it down. Anyone else use delay? I know Jidge uses delay. I got it really low and not many repeats. A few. I'll turn it. I'll try this. We'll see how it goes. This is a song called Another Monday. Just put a reverb on the vocals. Go. All right.
It was a long winter's day, and the sun came my way. Couldn't believe, and like millions before, we're just in awe, his mum and me. My, oh my, what a sight, as your mum holds me tight, as she breathes. Oh, one push, she'll be here, just wait and see. 1, 2, 3. And oh, the weather is bad, and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. And all them people are mad, and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. In this bubble we are, and we've made it thus far. 10 hours in, but the next 13 hours will be harder still, and that's when it begins. My, oh my, what a sight, as your mum holds me tight, as she breathes. On the next push she'll be here, and just wait and see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the weather is bad, and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. And all them people are mad, and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. Oh, the weather is bad and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. And all them people are mad and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday.
That was Another Monday. So I'm using a mixture of like microphones and pickups to sort of get the sound that I'm after. But usually I would take a little bit more time. So on this live stream, I basically I just kind of did a little bit of tweaking here and there, and as I'm going, I'm just kind of changing the sound a little bit. But if you just joined the live stream, then welcome. My name is Fabian Holland. I'm a guitarist, singer, and songwriter. I'm just singing songs and talking to you lovely people. So if you have any comments or questions or anything about me or my setup or anything like that, then please feel free to drop it in the chat. I asked a question about delay pedals, just because I was just messing around with that delay pedal now. Just seeing if anybody's said anything about that. But boom boom. Oh, before I go on to that, actually, Jody says, do you know anything about sync licensing, Fabian? I'm very curious about it. Seems if you get a tune or two in a movie or a series, it's really solid way to make income, but also great exposure. Yeah, I don't know so much about sync licensing. I mean, I have a publishing deal with Warner, but it's to be honest, it's kind of a deal that I did quite a few years ago, and it's with a friend of mine, and we did this. We basically did this album together, and it's a friend of he's a violinist, and the album's actually you can see it on my YouTube channel, under like it's under the playlist of like albums or something or music or something like that. Um, and we created this album and we wanted to kind of release it, but Warner were really interested in using us or using this album for their library, and we we kind of got really excited by that. And I don't know if it's really worth it, to be to be honest. We haven't really seen much in terms of income, but they didn't buy it off us or anything. They just said, "Oh, we'll put it on a library, and and then you'll get royalties through if someone uses it." And I think on that game, I think that's called sync licensing. I'm not sure, but so they have a library of people that use their music for like games, for like TV shows, for stuff like this, right? But most people who do that, who are in that world, they're creating music for that every day, and I mean, I don't know that world too much, but I think it's a kind of a numbers game in that respect. And I don't know how much things have changed now that we have AI, on the scene where people can basically create a whole soundtrack just by giving a few prompts. So yeah, I don't know how that would change things, but yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it in terms of if you want to get your songs out there, for to be on a TV show or something like that. I don't know if that's if there's better ways, and I think there's more people that are better at this kind of stuff than me. But that's what I'm doing. But I'm still like with Warner, and I think like I'm quite happy in terms of like I give them music that I've created, and it's music. It's not like the music that I'm playing now. It's like it's kind of more ambient, and it's more kind of it's kind of I create it with the mind of someone using it in a film or series or stuff like this. So it's a little different, but I'm still using guitar and these instruments and stuff like that. But with that, it's more like I just try to give them as many songs as possible, because the more songs you give them, then the more likely it is that that song will be used. But I know there are like people that create series and stuff, that are looking for like soundtracks, especially if you get your song on an intro on a show. I think that's the big thing. That is the dream, I think, for a lot of musicians. If you get your song on a popular show, then that's it. It's like not only will you get lots of income through the royalties and through like everything that way, but you also will get lots of exposure, like huge amount of exposure. I know musicians that have got their stuff on like soundtracks like that, on the intro soundtracks. And I'm not sure if he was on the intro soundtrack or not, but actually I know that he got his song and on a show, and it really helped him out. I just got to stretch my legs a little bit, stretch them out, because it's like when it comes up to like the 2 hour stage, I start to get crampy. I haven't finished my cocoa. I gotta not forget my cocoa. I hope that helps, Jody. I don't know if it does. Yeah. Glad everyone likes that song. Yes, I'm using the Black Stack. Hey Nick, how's it going? I'm using the Black Stack sound hole pickup, and I'm also using the K&K bridge pickup. It's like 3 contact pickups underneath the bridge inside the guitar, and I'm using different effects. They're going into the interface separately. I'm controlling them separately, so I'm not blending them at all. They're going through completely separate effects and channels because they're very different sounding, you know. And then I'm controlling all the levels on my interface. Hey George, how's it going? George says, which mic, the one in front of the fretboard, is standing on your guitar? This one it's a Neumann MCM 114 microphone. It's designed for it's like a small it's a mini condenser basically, and it's designed for live applications, so using it in a live setting, you know. I have used various mics. So live, you can there's various different options. You can either use a microphone inside the guitar, which I've used lots of different, and I still do sometimes. There's loads of great options with mics inside the guitar, but a mic inside the guitar will never really sound the same as a mic outside of the guitar. You know, it's a very different sound you'll get. But it can sound really nice, but I think it's to get the best sound if you're going to use a microphone inside the guitar. So I'm going off on a tangent now. Then it's best to use a pickup in combination with that, I feel, in my experience, to get the best sound. In general, I think it's a good idea to use a pickup in combination with a mic live, because with a microphone on stage, you can never get it really, unless you've got a really hot like sound person and sound team, you know, who really know what they're doing. But you know, most of the time we don't. It's best to use like you're never going to be able to get the sound to a level and to get the low end that you need, you know, with a microphone inside the guitar, you know, I find. You know, you can get pretty close if you use a lot of EQing and if you use a lot of like this sort of stuff, and if you know what you're doing. But yeah, this one is a microphone on the outside of the guitar, obviously, and it gives a really, really nice sound, and I really like it. So I'll just show you the sound that it gives. I will mute the pickups. So I'm using in combination with 2 pickups. So this is the microphone. And I actually compared this with, I have a small diaphragm condenser. So I usually use, actually, because I sit down when I play live, I use a small diaphragm condenser live on stage. Because that, using a microphone, external microphone, I feel, gives me the most natural and best sound that I can get from my guitar. Obviously, you can't, you know, I can't use a lot of low end on it, but gives me all that nice airy feel, you know, to the guitar. And I compared it with this one, and it was really hard to tell the difference, to be honest, you know. So I was really impressed with this. Yeah, so it's But still, you know, you have to be careful with any microphone, especially any microphone that you clip onto the guitar, because it does pick up. Like this has an extremely impressive low end, but I have to basically give it a low cut filter, because otherwise all the, you know, the hammer-ons and pull-offs that I'm doing on the fretboard, you know, it would pick that up on the low end, you know. So I have to give it a low cut filter, which is fine, you know, because live I probably won't use those really low ends anyway, you know, and because I like to combine it with the pickups, which pickups do give me nice low end. Marcus says, hi from Brazil. Welcome to the live stream. All right. I think I need to end it soon, guys, because it's getting a little late and I'm getting a little tired, but I am enjoying it. I'll play another song. I'll do a few more songs. All right. Am I going to leave that delay on? Maybe. Trying to get it on the right tempo, roughly. I just realized now that I'm playing the wrong tempo for the song that I want to play. Ah, damn it. Still might work though. I'm gonna go for it. Still might work. All right, I'm gonna try. Here we go. Talking about delays, just before I start playing, there was a point when I was really experimenting a lot with delays, and I actually bought two. What was it? I think it was Boss DD7 maybe, or DD5 delay pedal, digital delay pedals. I bought two of them, and it's so much fun having two delay pedals going, because you can come up with like really interesting rhythms, you know, if you have them at different times, coming up with different rhythms, like these sort of bump 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 bump, this sort of stuff going on, bump 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 bump. It's really fun. But I still struggled to actually make it part of any song, you know. So you need to, I think the key is with any of these is not to use them too much, or if you are going to use them like really low in the level, you know. Yeah. Anyway, here we go.
She's a drunk, middle-aged mom. She had children when she was too young. Now it's something you might be surprised. 3 different kids from 3 different guys. She spends her time drinking away, drinking special brew every day. How did she end up this way? People walking past would say. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of He's a loner, he's an old man, an old boater that used to have plans. Now what he has is a very long beard, keeping him awake all these tears. He has one friend in all the world, his old dog with a long grey coat. He never sees the light of day, just waiting for time to pass away. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of river rats. He's a dad, he's a nice guy, a young father that doesn't know why he can't see his poor little son, 'cause all these things this kid's mother has done. He has no money nor job, he'd do anything to earn a few bob. You look at him and you might judge that all he feels for his son is love. Down by the river, you may find nothing but tit and tat. Here at the river, we all are just a bunch of river rats.
was The River, it's called. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Fabian Holland. I'm a guitarist, singer, and songwriter. And in this live stream, I'm just playing songs and chatting with you lovely people. I am just about to finish, actually. We're not going to last too much longer because I get tired, you know. I can't do this for very long. I get physically tired. But I appreciate all of you that have lasted this long through the live stream. If you've lasted this long, respect. I just got to have so much respect for you. And you've watched from the beginning. But if you've just joined, then welcome, and you'll be able to catch maybe one more song before we go. But I want to encourage everyone to join the song club. It's a little club where most of these people, these lovely people that are in the chat, that are a member of, and it's completely free. And we have these conversations in the club, and it's just on my own website, and it's it's pretty chill, and it's all full of lovely people and just having interesting conversations based on acoustic guitars, fingerstyle guitars, recording songs, writing, this kind of stuff. So if you're interested, then I encourage you to sign up. Marcus says, what did you say? You asked something about, Timothy's gone. No worries. Have a good one, Timothy. Thanks so much again. You said something about the setup. Could you talk a bit about the setup, signal chain? Absolutely. Yes. So I'm reading comments as I'm talking, which is never good because I lose concentration. So I have two pickups on the go. A soundhole pickup, which is Blackstack Fishman Blackstack, which is like a humbucker soundhole pickup with adjusting pole pieces, I should say. And then I have a K&K Pure Mini, which is like 3 contact pickups, which is like piezo style pickups inside the guitar, underneath the stuck on the bridge plate, basically. And that all signals goes through. I got 2 separate cables coming out, and they're both going through different things. The soundhole pickup's going through a radial PZ Deluxe, radial Tonebone PZ Deluxe preamp, and then it's going to a TC Electronic hypergravity compression pedal, which was given to me by Jij, actually. Thank you so much, Jij. I appreciate that again, as a little present, because he has another one. And I was talking about getting a compression pedal, or experimenting with one, because I'd never really used them before on my pickups. So it's been really nice to actually use this, and it's very subtle, but I think I'm converted. I think I'm a compression guy now. And then it's going into a delay pedal, which is a Electro Harmonix Echo 1 digital delay. I did have that for that song. I think I might turn it off now. And then I'm going into a Blue Sky, a Strymon Blue Sky reverb pedal. And then it's going into my interface here. So then the other pickup is going into the K&K preamp, the K&K Pure preamp. It's just like a very small little preamp. And then it's going into an Empress Para EQ. So I EQ it as a parametric EQ. Then it's going to the AFX Acoustiverb, which is a Fishman's reverb pedal. It's really nice, very natural sounding. And then it's going into this. So they're basically just going into like preamps, EQ, compression. This is going through delay sometimes, and then reverb, and then into the interface, and that's it. And then I've just got the microphone here, which is the Neumann MCM 114, which is a cardioid pattern microphone, and that's just going straight in. That's nothing on it. And then I have this microphone here, which is just it's a Neumann microphone again, but it's a dynamic microphone, you know. Okay, so that's my signal chain. Hope that makes sense. Peter Jurgensen says, thank you for some nice music and company. I will listen to your last song, and then good night from Denmark. Have a good evening, Peter. Thanks so much for joining. Peter Weston says, hearing you talk about delays reminds me of John Martin, who sued the Echo Playback in the day. Sued them, really. Or used. Maybe that's supposed to be used rather than sued them. I don't think you would sue them. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love John Martin. He's so nice. He's and he did use delay, didn't he? He used all kinds of things. That kind of makes me want to listen to John Martin again, actually. To sort of, there's this on YouTube. There's a lot of these like live shows. I think he did a live show in Germany somewhere. It's funny because I'm in Germany now, and it's really good. I don't know when it was recorded, but it's a really nice. There's like lots of live songs of him, and he's just it's so good. Anyway, I think he means he used the Echoplex. Yeah, I think that's what he meant, the Echoplex. Yeah, that was the Echoplex. Was it an actual tape delay? I think it was, right? They used actual tape for that one. That's supposed to be really nice. You can still get the Echoplex, like the vintage tape delay, but it's like so much. It's vintage money now. But you can get the pedal version of it as well. All right. So if you've just joined, welcome to the live stream. I'm literally about to play my last song because I got to go to bed because I'm in Berlin in Germany, and here it's coming up to 11:30 in the evening, and I got to go to bed. Because I have a little son, and he wakes me up really early by he used to jump on my head when he was really young. He's 8 now, but when he was really young, he used to jump on my head at 6 o'clock in the morning, which if you've had a late night, it's not the best, not the best way to be woken up. He doesn't do that anymore, but he does wake me up though still. All right, I'll do one more song. This is gonna end it. Thanks again to everyone who joined the live stream. As I said, if you want to join the song club, it's a really cool club. Be part of the club. Links in the description down below. Now's the chance to actually, if you have any last minute questions, then now's your chance to get them in before we end it. And then I'll answer all the questions before I end it after this song. So as I'm doing the song, any questions or comments or anything you have, then make sure you get them in. All right, for your regulars, you know what I'm about to play. I play it a lot. It's called Nobody's Fault But Mine by Blind Willie Johnson. Here we go.
Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I don't read, my soul be lost. And I have a Bible in my home. And I have a Bible in my home. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Mother, she taught me how to read. Mother, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Father, he taught me how to read. Father, he taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Mother, she taught me how to read. Mother, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Sister, she taught me how to read. Sister, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Mother, she taught me how to read. Mother, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Father, he taught me how to read. Father, he taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. I have a Bible in my home. I I have a Bible in my home. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Thank you so much, everyone who came, who watched the live stream from the start, who came later. What a wonderful time. I always love these live streams. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll just see if there's any more questions, anything that I missed before we end it. I don't think there's anything else. Someone says, I got a revelation. I plugged my acoustic guitar in my amp and my amp in the old hi-fi speakers instead of my guitar cab, and the sound is amazing, very natural. Cheap trick and worth trying. That's interesting. Never tried that before. Definitely probably give that a go. I think I got some old speakers. Worth trying that. Interesting. Thanks for the tip. Thanks so much, Jidge. Thank you, everyone who joined. Thanks to Peter, to George, to Nick, Marcus, Timothy, everyone, to just looking down now, to Jody, everyone that came earlier as well, to Sean. Thank you so much. And to Stuart Holland, my dad. Thanks so much, Dad, for joining the live stream. Yeah, and everyone else as well. I really hope you enjoy these live streams. I'll try and schedule them a little bit sooner in time so everyone has a bit of time to prepare so we can all join. It's really nice when lots of people come and we can have all these conversations. As I said, don't forget, if you want to join up the Song Club, then the link is in the description down below. It's completely free. And we have all these lovely conversations all of the time. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
and I will see you next time. Bye.